Creatures of the night, it's your girl Tati. Let's talk about AEW Dynamite, the go home show for Revolution. But let's not get it twisted. We still do have an episode of Collision this Saturday, so we still get the chance to see a few more things unfold for the pay-per-view. All in all, I thought this was a really good show. I was hoping for a couple of things to be a little bit more stronger, but since we still got Collision, maybe we might see a little bit more things playing out with at least one of these stories, the Death Riders. We'll see. I don't know. Now, we did start off with our scumbag MJF, who's in the parking lot, who says, look, Hangman, you think whatever happened to Christopher Daniels was something? Wait till I get my hands on you. And he's waiting for Hangman to make his way to the building. We'll get to that in a moment. We start off with the contract signing with Ricochet and Swerve Strickland. Tony Schiavone is pretty much the mediator in the situation. And when Ricochet gets out there, he is just wearing a baseball cap, I think with the Philadelphia Eagles logo on it. And he comes out there and he is just wearing a suit with the hat. And Schiavone's instigating, like, oh, well, where's the road? What happened to the embassy road? And I'm just like, Schiavone, mind your business. Okay, he's over here instigating. Ricochet says, look, I don't have the robe. The robe is getting, I guess, much needed cleaning. That upsets Prince Nana. And Ricochet just yap. Swerve was just like, sign the motherfucking contract. I'm ready to go. I got things to do in Sacramento. And speaking of Sacramento, this venue was so beautiful. It's so cute. I love the venue. I love when they go to little places like this because it's just like, it gives you like something different that other big venues just don't have. And they have that unique look to it that I love. Tony Khan, keep finding venues like this because I really think it just adds something to just the whole look and presentation of AEW. But anyway, they're getting into it and Swerve is just listening to Ricochet run his mouth pretty much for the most part. He said, look, I'm ready to go on to get my title shot. I'm going to run through Moxley or Adam Cole, whoever the hell got the title. I'm taking it off of them. And obviously Swerve just looking at him like, baby, I don't think so. Now, when Swerve gets his hands on the mic and he's going to go and sign, he ends up taking a little bit of a dig at Ricochet's ring announcer wife. And that obviously kind of gets Ricochet upset. And Swerve signs the paper. He's ready to leave. He got other things to do. And here comes Ricochet that goes to attack him from behind. But Swerve is ready for whatever. And he ends up turning around, putting his hand in his pocket, and he pulls out a scissor of his own and ends up stabbing Ricochet with it in the forehead before Ricochet could stab him with his scissors. We're just playing with scissors. Everything that they told you not to do in kindergarten, we're just doing as adults apparently. And Swerve ends up walking away. Now for that, I was like, you know what? I'm cool with this, but it kind of felt like because I did a little bit more, but it's okay because these two end up being in the main event later on. After this, we have Pastor Briscoe teaming up with Orange Cassidy, Powerhouse Hobbs, and William Ospreay to go against Brian Keith and the Don Callis family, Brian Cage, Lance Archer, and Mark Davis, our meaty man. We have Uncle Don, who is on commentary. And speaking of commentary, I don't know what happened, but we had said a couple of weeks ago that it should just be Taz and Excalibur and Ian to do commentary. Schiavone can find something else to do, and apparently we're doing that again this week, and I think it was a much better vibe. Maybe I might be a little bit biased and don't want Schiavone over there, but I do like Ian part of the Dynamite team. Now, the match was actually pretty good. Really great match to start off the show. Everybody had a moment to show up and show out here. I won't lie to you, I did feel like Brian Keith kind of like, he's a heel, so maybe because of that he fits with the group, but not really. Kyle Fletcher obviously have other things to do, so he wasn't in that match. Uncle Don on commentary, thank goodness. And I liked seeing things from everybody. Powerhouse Hobbs, being from California, was getting a lot of cheers, and we had the meat chants when all the meaty men were in the ring. I love that. That's probably my favorite part, when they chant meat, because that's what I like. That's what I'm into. Now, here's the thing. It's very apparent here that the baby faces are going to take the win. I really hate when it feels like we're going to go out there, we're going to give a great match, but we're going to make it fairly obvious that the good guys are going to end up taking the win. And it kind of takes a bit of the fun for me. But they end up taking the win here. And for me, I was just like, whatever. William Ospreay pinning once again is Brian Keith, who's getting pinned once again after the match. Don Callis family, they won't stand for this. They end up beating everybody in the babyface team, everybody laid out and everything. And then here comes Kyle Fletcher. Kyle Fletcher, Lord have mercy. He came out there with a t-shirt for no reason, takes it off, and rightfully so, makes his way into the ring. He just looks like a fucking $1,000,000. He looks like $1,000,000. He comes on out there and they're attacking William. They go get a chair, and Mark Davis is like, no, 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 let's not do this. Mark Davis, if you're not cut out for this heel shit, baby, step aside and let someone else do it. You know what I mean? I'll do it. I'll hit William with the chair. Now, Don Callis and everybody in the group is just like, Mark Davis, you're already in here. You already in here. You better fall in line and do what the fuck we tell you to do. Now, Kyle Fletcher was being pretty aggressive about doing whatever the hell he tells him to do, which I was just like, well, it don't have to be like that. If you just tell him nicely to hit him with a chair, I think he'll do it. And you could just see the aggressiveness with Kyle Fletcher, which is something we typically don't ever see with Aussie Open at all. So that was really, really interesting. And did Mark Davis end up hitting William with the chair? Yeah, he did. And what else was he supposed to do? And he ends up walking away because they told him to get his ass out of there while they continue to put the beat down on William. I'm liking the way things are going. It does leave that door open to, will Mark Davis do the right thing and help William Ospreay at the pay-per-view? Honestly, I'm hoping not. I hope he comes out there and helps Kyle Fletcher, make sure that Kyle Fletcher takes that win. I think that's going to be match of the night for me. Maybe. We'll see. Up next, we had Adam Copeland versus Wheeler Yuta. Wheeler Yuta makes his entrance from all the way outside the building, walks into the building, walks through the crowd, walks out. I like when they do stuff like that. With the Death Riders especially. When they do that, I think it's really, really cute. They end up having a pretty good match here. Adam Copeland wearing that green and that reddish color. I don't know what that is. That did something for me. I thought it was really, really cute. Adam Copeland, you know, he's come back from an injury not too long ago, and it's going to take a little bit for him to really, really get back into the groove of things. And Wheeler Yuta is a really great wrestler, I think, for anyone to get in a ring with. Everybody's booing Wheeler Yuta from the moment he walked into the building and throughout the match, and they were saying things about Wheeler Yuta. And then when I think about it too, Sacramento, they were not nice. They were not nice at all. They were saying, fuck you to Don Callis. They were booing Wheeler Yuta out the building. They were just so mean to our fellow favorite wrestlers, and I could not stand for it. Sacramento, I'll never come to your city. Now, while I did enjoy this, I was looking at it more as in, okay, Copeland had already pretty much took care of the entire Death Riders group. Now it's Wheeler Yuta who's left. He's going to make sure that Wheeler Yuta is not even going to be able to walk out of this thing. And after hitting Wheeler Yuta with a spear, ends up taking the win. Now, Copeland could have just said, you know what? I'm going to whoop his ass and just fucking leave. But instead of doing that, he ends up going to Wheeler Yuta and shaking his hand and basically saying some shit about respect or whatever. And Wheeler Yuta is just like, what the fuck? What the fuck is going on here? And Adam Copeland leaves. And I'm just like, oh, no beatdown, no nothing, like how we've been seeing every fucking week. They give us something different this time, which I could appreciate. Now, then things went left from there. So now, here's my complaint about the show. I see that they try to do things differently with the Death Riders thing. However, your go-home show, especially your biggest storyline, what's your main event, is really supposed to help reel people in, especially since we have to pay $50 for the pay-per-view. Here's Wheeler Yuta, who is just in the ring perplexed. Like, what the fuck is Adam Copeland doing? Why is he shaking my hand? Here comes Moxley, who comes into the ring from the crowd and doesn't get to have any interaction with Copeland because he left out from the stage. Now, he gets in there and he's just like, really, what the fuck you doing? Did I teach you to be friendly with people, or did I tell you to go out there and kill people? Like, what are you doing? And Wheeler Yuta doesn't really seem to be wanting to deal with Moxley's shit, so he's just walks away, and Moxley ends up following him backstage, and they kind of yell at each other, and Wheeler Yuta just end up walking off. Then here's Moxley in front of the camera backstage, where he's just like, oh, you know what, Adam Copeland? Congratulations, bitch. You got what you wanted. You got everyone in the Death Riders away from this whole entire situation, so now it's just going to be you and me at Revolution. And honestly, I didn't care for the promo. well, I liked everything that happened leading up to it. Something about it didn't feel strong to me. Something about it just was just like, you know what, fuck it. Just have the damn match and whoever wins, wins and we moving on. That's what it felt like. And I felt like with this being the biggest story match of the fucking card, something about this could have been a stronger. And I'm just talking only promo wise. So what they're trying to get you to feel is that Wheeler Yuta is done, well, not done with the Death Riders, but like he's not going to have anything to do with what's going on between Moxley and Copeland at the pay-per-view. But I'm feeling really confident that Wheeler Yuta is going to do the right thing and show up in the name of the Death Riders at Revolution. After this, we do get a little video package from the 80s from the Outrunners. That's great. They need to do something before they get their ass whipped by the Hurt Syndicate. But after this, we do have MJF, who is outside having his little interview with Renee. And when I say little, I mean little, because here is Hangman pulling up in that cute little truck he had last week. And he's ready to get his hands on MJF. Now, he runs into the building thinking that he's following MJF, and he just starts beating up on some guy back there. You could barely see who the fuck he got his hands on. And when he makes it out towards the ring, this person is dressed up as MJF, but they are not MJF. And Hangman, it takes a minute for him to realize that he's not beating up on MJF. And then the person's like, MJF made me do it. He made me put these clothes on. And he's like, what? And then obviously MJF, who comes out there, took care of business, got his hands on Hangman. Even he hits him with a devastating heat seeker. Now, to make it all worse, both of these men did this whole segment with a shirt on. Like, what the hell? And even after that, MJF had the nerve to unbutton his shirt and have another shirt under that said MJF did nothing wrong. Baby, you did do something wrong by wearing another shirt under the shirt. Now, here they are in the ring. Hangman is like, hey, not Hangman. MJF is like, oh, y'all like to see Hangman burn shit. I like to burn shit too. Hangman is laid out in the mat, and then here is MJF, who goes to get lighter fluid and a lighter. He torched that. Well, he could have torched them up. Two useless security guards came on out there, but that didn't stop anything. And then after he put the fluid all over him, and then he goes to go, with the match, another match, the lighter, here comes the entire locker room and security guards, the referees, and everyone that's still employed that you didn't even know was employed. They all came on out there to break these guys up, and they end up keeping them away. They pretty much picked up MJF and took him all the way to the back while Hangman was laid up out there, and they were checking him out. I can't wait to see what the fuck they do to each other at Revolution. Now, after this, we have, I think, is like the director or writer of Queen of the Ring, the new movie that's supposed to be coming out on Friday at a theater near you. I don't know where, whatever. It looks like it's going to be a great movie. Some wrestlers that we know within WWE and in AEW are going to be featured in that. They did do a whole premiere where a lot of these girls showed up. So I am interested in seeing that movie. If you're looking to see a biopic on Mildred Burke, then go ahead and check it out. It looks great. One of the wrestlers that is in the movie is Toni Storm. So Toni Storm, the director, did this little thing back there, whatever. It ain't nothing regarding wrestling to me, but they're basically letting us know about this movie and that Toni Storm is going to be having a sit-down interview with Mariah May later on in the show. After this, we have tag team action. Chris Statlander teaming up with Thunder Rosa. They went on against Megan Bayne and Penelope Ford. Very interesting match. Let's just say it's one of those situations where it's like Penelope Ford and Megan, they have a relationship where they're just kind of using each other in a way. I don't know how to describe it, but it all works out. I thought it was really great. For me, I was just like, yeah, maybe the babyface will end up taking the win. Why not? But then I thought about it. I was like, well, this is Megan Bayne. Megan hasn't taken an L since she's been here. She's looking pretty strong. I like what I see when I see her. She's beautiful. All these girls are beautiful and really talented in the ring. After Chris Statlander is laid out outside the ring for God knows how long, Thunder Rosa is basically in a fucking handicap match with these two girls and ends up taking the motherfucking L, which I'm okay with. After this, we do have an interview with Mercedes Moné, our CEO. She's going to be going against Momo Watanabe at the Revolution pay-per-view for the TBS title. But first, Momo has to have a match against Serena Deeb on Collision. And honestly, I cannot believe Serena Deeb is going to be catching an L on Saturday. after this, for no reason at all, no reason. Well, you know what? There was a reason. Max Caster doing his little thing that he do every week where he gets his ass whooped, when he pretty much begs for somebody to come whoop his ass. He was doing that, and then who ends up answering the challenge was Switchblade, Jay White. Lord have mercy, Jay White. Oh my God. He comes on out there and literally with just a Blade Runner ends up taking the win. That's it. Nothing else. Ends up win. Oh, wait a minute. And then Max Caster, he had his new pants. His new pants was, all it said was Max all over it. But not just Max like his name, but Max, the logo of fucking Max, the app. And it was so fucking like, what the fuck? It's actually hilarious or whatever. Max Caster, I'm not a fan, but I see you've been at the gym and I do appreciate that. Like I said, one fucking move and he ends up losing the match. Jay White gets on the mic and he goes on to say that, you know, he's been in this whole shenanigans with the Death Riders, and that Revolution, he's going to watch his little new friend, Adam Copeland, become a new world champion. And then that was it. I was like, wait a minute, that's it? Now, in my heel mind, I was just thinking, baby, you should have said you gonna watch him become champion. You gonna take that shit off of him after he loses it. That's what I was hoping to hear, but I guess they don't want to give all the goodies away in just one little promo. So now we have our sit-down interview. We have Renee Paquette, who's basically mediator once again, and it's Mariah May and our girl Toni Storm. Toni Storm, the fashions, you know, it's not for me. Like, I couldn't rock it, but she just looks flawless every single time. Mariah May looked a hot motherfucking mess. The makeup wasn't right. She looks miserable. And at first, it's just, she ends up freaking spitting in Tony's face. And then she started playing this victim card where it's just like, I loved you so much. And look at what's happened with us. And at Revolution, we're going to be able to be together again. And I'm just like, girl, like, I know relationships that are like this. And it is not healthy. They had a really good exchange between each other. Toni Storm goes on to basically say, like, girl, ain't nothing about you. You're just mediocre. And hey, after all of this, no one's even going to remember who the fuck you are. And they end up getting each other's face. And Renee Paquette is literally standing there. And you know, if it was me, I would have just backed up. I would have been like, look, they don't pay me to get my ass whooped or anything. I'm just going to let them two handle it. Do I care that they're going to have a third match? Not really. But this is the Hollywood ending. I'm expecting to see something big with this. And this better be the last time, because I don't want to see these two going at it no more. Main event, Swerve Strickland teaming up with Brody King. Lord have mercy, Brody King. They went against Okada and Ricochet. Can I say that this was just such a really great match? And I fucking loved it. I want to say here that, you know, all these guys here are, you know, singles competitors or whatnot, but everybody stood out for their own fucking reason. But then they also stood out in terms of as teams, where it's just like, oh, hold on now. I would actually like to see these teams again doing something. Brody King, Swerve had this fucking chemistry that was just fucking out of the park. Even Okada and Ricochet, I thought, had really great chemistry with each other. And this made the match so much more enjoyable. I don't think we're going to see this like again anytime soon in terms of them doing something as a tag team. But it was really, really great main event. We had like 8 minutes left of the show by the time this got started. And I'm just like, well, Tony Khan, you paid the overtime money, right? Because there's no reason why something like this shouldn't be able to go overtime. And I thought they nailed it. Everyone's chemistry was really, really great. Prince Nana, who is ringside, who is there in support of Swerve. Hey, as much as everybody keeps saying how Swerve and Nana's gonna break up, I really don't want that to happen. I feel like they just fucking work. Now, I thought this was a great match, and I'm looking at this and I'm like, it's kind of hard to tell who's gonna end up taking the win. I wasn't sure what was going to end up happening here, but I kept thinking that maybe it would be Okada and Ricochet. Swerve, oh my God, Swerve was just, he hits Ricochet with this devastating curb stomp. But we also have Okada, who's on his P's and Q's. That's just like, hey, man, we're not taking no L here. Now, Okada, he goes outside the ring to go get his title, to bring it into the ring. And it, I forgot what ends up happening, but the title ends up falling into the ground. Obviously, referee's blind as fuck, so he never sees anything. And Ricochet ends up grabbing the title after Brody King ended up, I think, clotheslining, what's his name? Okada out from the top rope, and then Ricochet hits Swerve with it in the face. Referee turns around, 1, 2, 3. We have our winner, and I'm just like, oh shit! I'm impressed. I'm absolutely impressed with what we've seen with Ricochet. I honestly feel like sometimes that people have something in them, and it takes for you to be in the right environment for that thing that's within you to come out. And I feel like him being in AEW has just been the perfect opportunity for him. And I have loved everything that he has done up until now. I ain't mad that they end up taking the win. I'm cool with it. Actually cool with it. Brody King ends up checking on Swerve after that match, and everything's all good in the hood. Well, not really, but we'll end up seeing whatever is going to happen here at the pay-per-view on Sunday. You guys, I thought this was a really great show. I think things could have been a little bit stronger, especially for the main event. It's just a little bit more work that needs to be done. Is this Death Riders thing's gonna be finished on Revolution? Maybe not. I'm not sure where we're going with it, but honestly, I'm ready to see some new things brewing within AEW. So if you didn't check out this episode, go ahead and check it out. I thought it was pretty great. I will be back tomorrow for a review on Ring of Honor, and also a review on Collision. And then don't forget to check me back out on Sunday for Revolution. Did I say Revolution again? Y'all know the drill. Y'all know the schedule. See you guys then. Bye.